Hi, I'm Tricia, and I'm founder and MD of Look Fabulous Forever, which is makeup specifically formulated for older faces, eyes, and lips. Do come and visit us at our website, which is full of videos, galleries of before and after photographs of women over 50, over 60, and over 70, and lots of ideas about things like clothes, style, hair, and pretty much everything that an older woman might be interested in. I'm 67 myself, and I really started the business because I wanted to find something which would suit my older face, eyes, and lips. So, what I'm going to do today, I'm lucky enough to be in the south of France on holiday to show you quite a quick way to look great when you're in the sunshine, but you still want to look finished and not like I do at the moment with no makeup on. But you don't want to spend an awful lot of time messing around. So, what I do when I'm in the sunshine, I never ever sunbathe with my face in the sun. I think it's the quickest way to get wrinkles and to ruin your skin, in fact. So I use fake tan, and I'm using one by Saint Tropez at the moment, which is really good, works well, not too scary, and it kind of builds up quite a natural looking tan. And I'm going to start off by making my face look better, unifying the texture of my face by using our base O2. Now, I've been using base O2 all winter, so you can say, well, you've got a bit of a tan now, so why are you still using base O2? But in order not to have to buy a whole range of different coloured foundations, I've actually got something by Guerlain. It's a terracotta joli teint, which means tint, and this is really quite dark. So I am going to put a small amount of that, mix it in, and this should achieve the right colour for me now that I've got this slight tan. I'm not going to put very much of this on. I have notoriously difficult skin. I have acne rosacea. My skin improves a lot in the summertime when I'm in the sunshine. It seems like the air gets to my skin and it really improves the texture and the look of it a lot. So I'm not too unhappy about my skin at the moment, like I usually am, but it could still do with some help. Older skins tend to look better and, dare I say, younger when you've unified the skin tone. We all tend to think that it's wrinkles that makes us look older, but actually that very, very uneven skin tone that you get as you age is the key problem. So some unification of the skin tone. Is important. There you go. I'm using our brush 3. It's an angled foundation brush. It's perfect for just working that into the skin. Make sure that it's really well blended. Okay, just make sure you've got no hard lines around your chin like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to just make sure that any areas that need a bit of extra help are helped with some conceal. This is our Conceal 03. It's the darkest one we have. I like putting concealer into the inner corners of my eyes here. When we're older, we often get this sort of hollow-eyed look, and concealer is brilliant for just making sure that that isn't a problem. And a small amount under my eyes as well. There we go. So concealer done. And the next thing I'm going to use is a highlighter pen. And this is quite counterintuitive if you're looking to get a tan or have brown skin on your face, because it's light but actually if you put it just on the top of your cheekbones there, it has a lovely effect because it looks nice and dewy and fresh. Makes your face look better. And I'm also going to put some here underneath my eyebrows so that when I've defined my eyebrows, which I'm going to do in a minute or two, they actually look better. So top of brow bones, top of cheekbones, just applied with the brush that's integrated into the fabulous light. That's what it looks like. And that will help my eye makeup to look better. So the last thing I'm going to apply on my face is some blush. Blush is really important when you're older because it really brings the face to life, and I'm very keen on pinky tone blushes, so I'm going to use this one. This is actually peach cream, which I quite like if I've got a slight tan. It's still very pinky and it still suits me really well, even though I'm quite cool toned. And you can see where I'm putting it. Centre of the eye, down a bit, and then round in an arc of colour. You're basically putting it underneath the highlighter that you've just put on. And the combination of the blush and the highlighter together is really attractive and pretty. So it's cream to powder formulation, patting it in with your fingers and building up enough intensity of colour just so that you're happy with the way it looks. And then when you've done that, take this brush, which is our brush 2, blusher brush, and just smoothing out any edges that you've got and ensuring that that's really well blended. Okay, so face done. Next thing I'm going to do is to give some definition to my eyebrows. Brows are very important, and they're important to every face because they actually give some proportion and symmetry to the way that you look. But when we're older, as you can see with me, I've not got very good brows. They're quite straggly, they're quite sparse. I do have to pluck them quite dramatically because they go wiry and grow in funny directions. So I've got the basis of a shape there, but you can see that they're actually quite faded. So I'm going to use our brow shape, which is this very fine brush, and I'm going to just take the excess on the back of my hand because it's like a liquid paint. It's really quite easy to apply. It takes a little bit of practice. But once you've got the hang of it, it really is very simple. So I'm going to make my eyebrows a bit longer than they are naturally, just by stroking some of this colour down like that to the outer edge. So that's more or less enough. Have a look at that brow compared to that brow now. It doesn't look too scary, but it's definitely giving me a lot better framing for this eye than this brow is doing. So I'm going to just shake it up again. And again, don't forget to take the excess off on the back of your hand. Okay, go around with these stripes on the back of my hand. It does wash off with soap, but it doesn't come off with water, so it is effectively waterproof, this brow shape. So for instance, you could go swimming and you'd still have your brows on when you came out. I'm actually outside, obviously, and I'm not sure how good the sound is going to be on this. I'm going to speak up just in case the sound isn't great for you. Take the brush, the brow brush, and just groom your brows when you've finished so that you're happy with the way that they look. Right, now onto the eyes, and I'm going to keep the eye treatment for this look very light. The reason for that is I'm going to put on a very vibrant lipstick shortly, and so as far as I'm concerned, it's very important that you don't overdo the eyes if you're going to put a vibrant lip colour on. If you do, then you look a bit like a painted doll, you know, very heavily and overly made up. And so I think if you're going to put heavy eye makeup on, you go for a lighter lip treatment. If you're going to do light eyes, then you can stand a stronger lip colour. And the reason I'm going to put a really strong lip colour on is because it's beautifully bright sunshine down here, and you can actually get away with a really lovely bright colour of lipstick in bright sunshine. I'm just putting eye primer on my eyelids. I'm just going to use 2 products on my eyelids and some mascara. So eye primer first, and I'm using the eye primer just to give my eyelids a kind of creamy look. Eye primer is brilliant for keeping anything that you put on top of it in place. It stops that problem of your eye makeup tending to go walkabout, which it can do when you're older, unfortunately. And what eye primer does is it gives this lovely texture and surface to your eyelid, so that what you put on top, which is now going to be some shadow, actually stays in place and looks better for longer. Now I'm going to put this shadow on here. It's taupe, that's the colour. It's a really soft sort of greyish brown, very pretty, and it's quite delicate colour. It's not heavy, and I'm putting it, as you can see, in a kind of an arc into that area of my eye here, between the lid and the brow bone. This will make my eyes a better shape and will just generally look prettier. I'm not going to put very much on, as I said. And I'm going to now use another brush. This is our shadow brush 7. And I keep a couple of them in my makeup bag. I use one to put the shadow on, and I keep one clean just to blend the shadow in. By the way, I also wash my brushes a lot, 2 or 3 times a week. It takes about, 3 or 4 minutes. Lots of soapy water, rinse them, and then just let them dry naturally, or you can put them on a radiator. And that way they stay beautifully fresh and soft, and of course it's a lot more hygienic as well. So the last thing I'm going to do before I put my mascara on, I'm just going to use this brush, which is a wedge shaped brush, and you can see that. And using the taupe eyeshadow again, I'm just going to push some of this down into the base of my eyelashes, just working some of that colour down, and the effect of that is to give the impression that my eyelashes are thicker. But no heavy line, and I'm not going to do anything in the way of line underneath my eyes. probably enough. And just before I do my my mascara, I'm going to use eyelash curlers and just trap my eyelashes in between the blades. Our eyelash curlers have got this cushioned pad here, which makes them really comfortable to use, and they work brilliantly. Just to curl your eyelashes up and back, and the effect of that just takes seconds, but the effect of it is quite dramatic and really makes a difference to how your mascara looks. So mascara, just to give your eyelashes that definition that they lack without making them look all scary and spiky. Which, as you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know is one of my pet hates on an older face. I think for some older women, if their eyelashes aren't very thick, they go and buy these really clumpy volumizing mascaras in the hope that it will restore their eyelashes to some kind of their former glory, and they pile layer and layer and layer on until they've got this really hard spidery effect, and I just think it looks ghastly. But you may not. We're all entitled to our opinion. There's a helicopter flying overhead. Don't know whether you can hear it. One of the hazards of being outside. There we go. I think that's okay. So that eye treatment is, as I said, it's fairly light, it's quite pretty, and I think goes really well with the lipstick that I'm going to put on next. So the first thing I'm going to do before I put my lipstick on is to put some lip primer on. This is this magic stuff that stops any feathering or bleeding of your lipstick. I do think it makes a difference to how long your lipstick lasts as well. Our lipsticks are quite dense in terms of pigment and creaming, and what that means, of course, is that they last longer on your lips. I was wearing this lipstick yesterday, and I actually had to take a remover to it when I went to bed because it was still, it had stayed put really well. I think I'd refreshed it a couple of times after I'd eaten, but it's brilliant. And the colour is this lovely vibrant pink. I don't know whether you can see that. It's called Fuchsia, and I love it for the summer. I just think it brings my whole face alive. So I'm going to put that on. I should, of course, be putting it on with a brush. But I'm a normal person, and I often don't bother because it seems to take quite a lot of time, and I'd rather pick up my lipstick, put it on, because I'm usually dashing out of the door. So there you have it, my summer look. I hope you agree that it works really well. Make sure I haven't got any lipstick on my teeth. And my final touch is to put my sun hat on. There we go. And I'm now ready for my day. So I hope you enjoyed that. do come and visit us at www.lookfabulousforever.com, where you'll see all these products and everything else that I've talked about. We'd really love to see you there, so do come and say hi. Thank you.